Hey guys, it is 6 weeks until our last frost date, but actually 8 days until I'm going to be planting our plants out into the garden. So let's start our next round of seeds and I'll give you a little bit of an update on the seeds that we already have going. All right, you guys, let's check these seeds. So these look like either broccoli or cauliflower. My labeling had gotten mixed up somehow, but regardless, you can see there is great germination here on all of them. So I'm not having any concerns. You can see they are nice and dark green. And the purple is just part of the plant that is, in some plants it shows a deficiency, but in these ones they do have a purple hue to some of them, especially if I believe these are the purple sprouting broccoli in the middle. But you can see they're not leggy or anything. And then here is more, I believe, broccoli and cabbage. Not exactly sure. Like I said, my labeling got messed up because this label here is not accurate. That should be on this tray, which you can see my dill has popped up and is doing great. And I believe that's thyme right there. And as far as the rest of them, they are slow growing. I tried to fix the labeling. You can see I have a few of these blue flowers coming up. The dill looks great. The thyme is starting to come up. And the only other thing is one lonely little pepper plant back there. Oh, there's a second one trying to pop up. But as far as the rest of these, I'm not sure why they haven't come up yet. They might just have a longer germination time. I'm not sure. And these ones, I could go back and look and see what they are. But as far as germination, these first two trays have great germination rate. And where it's a bummer is the second tray. You can obviously see there is one variety that did not germinate as well as the other ones, which is a bummer because now I don't know which seed packet to throw away. So I might have to go back and watch back that tape because that is not good, especially because I put, I think, 2 seeds in every hole. Are you a little planting buddy? Huh? Are you going to help plant today? Yeah. Hi, sweet girl. Didn't really talk about the soil blocker much last time, but this guy has 8 different holes that you filled with soil, and so each one has these little attachments in here, and they actually, well, it looks like we're missing one, but they actually poke holes in the soil blocks so that there's a little hole for a seed. And we have some extra ones somewhere, so we might need to replace that unless it's in the dirt somewhere. But anyways, so you pack it in there, and then it is a spring, and it is squeaky, sorry about that, but you push down and it compacts it, and then they come out the bottom. So that's how I was making the blocks last time. Okay, Chase is gonna get some more dirt mixed up for us, and we're gonna go through the seeds that we're gonna be planting. So the main ones we're doing today are tomatoes, a couple herbs, and flowers. So first ones are tomatoes. We have 2 different types of cherry tomatoes that we're doing. We have Sun Gold and Honeycomb. They are both this orange little cherry tomato. We've tried a few different cherry tomatoes because Chase loves them. I don't eat tomatoes, but we have given them away to a bunch of friends, and they all say that the favorite cherry tomato that they've had are Sun Gold. And when I went to the store to go get more Sun Gold, they didn't have any, so I tried the Honeycomb one. So that's those ones. Next are, I think I have these separated between paste and sauce. So first one is Polka. It is a Polish paste tomato. It just says it's a tangy tomato with savory zip and highly acidic. So there's that one. Super Sauce Hybrid. This is a 5.5 inch tall and 5 inch wide tomato, which is huge for a paste tomato. Next are Napoli tomatoes. These are a deep plum shaped tomato, and they are also a sauce tomato. They have a very thick flesh. Bless you. Next one are banana legs. Now these are the size of a paste tomato. They are also dense like a paste tomato, but we use these ones for salsa. They have a 1.5 inch diameter and 4 inch long. These ones are good for salsa and salads. They are very, very, very prolific. We had Probably more yellow ones than anything last year. Next we have Italian Roma. These are the classic paste tomatoes, 3-inch long fruit. And then striped Roma. These are basically the same thing, they just have a yellow stripe with them. Our next one is Amish paste tomato. Now these ones are huge. It doesn't say on here, it just says acorn shaped thick flesh. These paste tomatoes are, I mean, they're absolutely huge. They are like the size of a slicer tomato, but they are a paste tomato, which is great when you're making sauces and stuff because you get more flesh and more bang for your buck per tomato. Next one are San Marzano. These ones are very common in sauces also. They are good for pasta sauce and even fresh eating. These ones are common in like gourmet cooking. If you ever have San Marzano sauce, that's why. Okay, I think the rest are gonna be slicing tomatoes. So first one are these Dr. Witchy yellow tomatoes. These ones are an indeterminate variety. Now, indeterminate versus determinate. Indeterminate means it keeps on growing no matter what. The plant is just gonna grow. Probably fall over because it's gonna get heavy if you don't prune it back, and then it's just gonna keep going and it's gonna keep producing. Determinate is more of like a bush. It grows to a certain size and then usually it fruits a big fruit all at once. You have fruit before and after, but it has one big major like bang of tomatoes. So these ones are indeterminate, so it keeps growing. And they are a low acid, meaty beefsteak variety, and it weighs over 1 pound. Now these things are seriously huge. They were one of the coolest tomatoes to grow last year. Next one are rose tomatoes. These ones are a bright pink rose color with a rich sweet flavor, balanced between sweet and acidic, and they are also supposed to be disease resistant. And all of these we have grown in the past and have all done pretty well for us. I say that, and the next one is actually a new one that we have not grown in the past. This one is Jubilee. I was excited to try it because it was a yellow-orange one as well. Mild, non-acidic flavor, large, globular, and smooth with thick, meaty walls. That's something I've noticed from these more yellow ones. Even though they are slicers, they have a meatier texture than the other ones. Next we have these big rainbow tomatoes. They are a really pretty striped tomato. These ones are also indeterminate, and they have tomatoes between 1 and 2 pounds. They are also known for their disease resistance as well. Next one we have are these Manitoba tomatoes. They are cute little lunchbox size. They are bigger than a plum tomato, but definitely not as big as the rest of the slicers. They are a determinate tomato, and they produce extremely early in comparison to the rest of the tomatoes, tangy, acidic, and good for slicing. Next one, Giant Crimson. These are an indeterminate tomato weighing between 8 and 10 ounces, sometimes close to a pound, and they are supposed to be meaty but also very juicy. Medium-sized tomato, but they are nice and deep red. Are you gonna eat tomatoes? Are you gonna like tomatoes? Next one is Early Girl. These are just a plain average sized tomato, but these are nice because when you are really wanting to get those tomatoes fresh out of the garden, those are one of the first ones to pop up. Okay, next one are these Brandywine Pinks. They are a pinkish red indeterminate tomato weighing around 14 ounces on average. And you can see these ones are a very meaty texture. They don't have a lot of seeds either. Next one are these Mushroom Basket tomatoes. These are a watermelon dark pink variety. And it says high producers, firm but sweet. These ones do give one of the biggest tomatoes out of the ones that we grew last year. They were pretty. All the ridges on them are really neat. It's just when they get so big and they start folding in on themselves, they can get bad spots. I will say that these ones probably didn't last as long on the counter, but I assume that it's just because they were so big. Last two aren't really tomatoes, but they are tomatillos. We have the purple tomatillo and the Grande Rio Verde tomatillo. These are both indeterminate. The purple one is sweeter, tangier, salsa verde, deep purple, bright color, good for grilling. And the green one is a choice for homemade salsa, sweet, bright flavor, green peppery mix. So there's those. And it says the purple tomatillo is about a 4 ounce fruit, and the green tomatillos between 3 and 4 ounces. I will say the purple ones were probably bigger last year, but as far as production, I didn't notice one overproducing the other. I guess we also have some lettuces. I didn't see those in the pile, but some lettuces that we are going to be starting inside, and the rest we are going to be direct sowing out into the green stock. But these ones are going to be the butter crunch lettuce, which is a small 5 to 6 inch head. Little gem lettuce. These are 6 inches tall, 4 inches wide, good for cut and come again. Some kale, which is narrow Toscana kale. We froze a bunch of this last year and that held up really well. And last one is this tennis ball lettuce for 7-inch loose heads. Next are some herbs, mainly basil. I have this Italian basil here, and then this 6 basil blend. And this one I've grown a few times, and it's always kind of fun to see which ones pop up. They have the basic basil, large leaf, dark opal, lime flavored, lemon flavored, and I don't know if that was 6, but all different kinds in there. And they all do pretty well coming up. It's like a purpley green, and then some of them are even striped purple and green. So these next two I have actually never gotten to grow, and I have tried to grow them every year, and I will continue to grow them, or try to grow them until it happens. First one is this toothache plant. This one is really cool because you are supposed to take the little gumdrop flowers and put it into your mouth or under your tongue, and it gives like a pain relieving effect. So if you have a sore throat, you can make these into a tea, or if you have a toothache, hence the name toothache, you just stick it right in the corner and it's supposed to numb that tooth. Never gotten these ones to come up. And mouse melon or cucamelons. I've also never gotten these ones to come up. They are grape-sized fruit that look like tiny watermelons with a bright cucumber flavor. So they look like little melons, but they're like cherry cucumbers. Instead of cherry tomatoes, like cherry cucumbers?
Grape.
Or grape. They're like like the size of grapes, but they're cucumbers. I just feel like these would be so cute to snack on or to put in salads. And they never come up. Yep. This says pickle and add to a martini for a fun visual twist, called sandita or Mexican sour gherkins. It better grow. Next category we have are flowers. Most of the zinnias don't say to start them inside this early, but these 2 packs did. I have a salmon zinnia and an early bird zinnia. They are probably my favorite flowers, and I like all the different colors that they come in. You could have like a single layer zinnia like those ones, or like more of a cone where they're multi-layered. These 2 flowers are the bachelor buttons. I have a red or like a hot pink, and then a variety of purple bachelor buttons. These are cute little straw-like flowers, and they are really pretty also. And the last 2 flowers are marigolds. I have a lemon drop and Kilimanjaro white, which have both done really well for me, and I like to plant these by tomatoes. Okay, so I'm gonna let Chase finish mixing up that dirt and making soil blocks for me, and then we will get to planting. Seed starting takes a lot out of a girl. I went ahead and took the 2 groups that germinated well from these 2 trays and added them to the inside of these trays because it was only 4 wide. Now it's 5 wide. So I added them to these 2 trays. I figure they're all brass because anyways, I'll just plant them all out, and then whatever grows, grows. So I'm gonna take the last couple blocks from here and put them in this bottom tray. And we might give these ones that haven't germinated a few more days, but I just wanted to make some room for the new trays that we have. And if the rest of these don't germinate, we will just mix up or remix up the soil and put it in with the rest of the soil. And then when we up pot these into bigger pots, we will have more soil to fill them. That is partially why we do the soil blocks, so that we can not waste any dirt, but we just had really good germination thus far. So So I previously was not going to grow these federale tomatoes because I didn't like how they ripened. They're a 7-inch long banana shaped fruit, but I found that the top like inch or 2 inches or whatnot didn't ripen, and by the time it did ripen they were rotten. So I was always cutting the tops off. But I have 9 slicers and 8 paste tomatoes, so I'm adding a 9th paste just to keep my brain happy. But let's get these planted. So what's nice is these trays hold 36 little soil blocks, and since we have 9 slicing and 9 paste tomatoes, we can just split it up to 18 and 18. So when I label these the correct way, I just add a line between each kind of lining up with the soil blocks, and then I put the name of everything that's going to be on there. So then these first 2 are going to be Rose, these 2 Dr. Witchy, Jubilee, and so on and so forth. And then on the other side, I'm going to do the paste tomatoes. That way I don't get them all mixed up. So I got the paste tomatoes all labeled, and now that I'm thinking about it, if I'm going to do 2 of one kind, because striped Roma and Roma are pretty much the same thing, I'm not going to do Roma. So I'm thinking either another Amish paste or super sauce. Or I might do both. I might do 2 striped Roma, or 2 of everything, 2 striped Roma, no normal Roma, 3 Amish paste, 3 super sauce, because those are the biggest ones. So something I think is kind of interesting is you see those little white dots? Those are the early girl seeds. They are pelleted. Usually I've only had like carrots or kohlrabies or really, really teeny tiny seeds like that pelleted. I have not had tomato seeds pelleted before. That is what tomato seeds normally look like, so you can see they're pretty big. So we'll see how the pelleted seeds do in comparison. So when you are covering your seeds, you want to be sure not to get them too deep in there because they are not very strong. The seedlings aren't very strong when they first kind of come out, so you don't want to bury them too deep. The package should tell you how deep to plant them. It's about 1/8 of an inch, I believe. But you want to make sure to lightly pat them in so that they have good contact with the soil, because that is how they grow. If you don't pack them in ever so slightly and they don't have good contact with the soil, they're not going to start sprouting, and then you're not going to have seedlings pop up. So I'm just very lightly brushing and covering them and tamping them down. And then after this, I am going to water them. And one thing I did forget to mention is, as you saw, we pre-moisten the soil. But it is very important that when you are mixing your dirt or your compost or whatever you're going to start your seeds in, that you get it wet first. Soil by nature can be very hydrophobic, which means the water runs off the top. So you have to pre-moisten, work it in, let it rehydrate. That way, when you get to this stage and you're watering them, the blocks suck up the water instead of it running off. If you don't pre-moisten this and you just put seeds straight in there, the water is just going to sit right on top and it's not going to go to your seeds and they're not going to germinate. So keep that in mind when you're starting your seeds. Really quick on these guys, I am only labeling one side because I'm going to go all the way back, which means instead of 2 rows like the tomatoes, I'm going 4 rows back because I want more of these plants. So as far as cherry tomatoes, we're going to do 4 honeycomb, 8 sun gold, 8 purple tomatillos, 8 green tomatillos, and 8 cucamelons, just to try to get those dang cucamelons to grow. I'm telling you, I have tried everything. So if you guys know or have tricks on how to get the cucamelons to grow, let me know because I am dying to try them. So I tried 2 different kinds of cucamelons, one from Botanical Interest and the other one I'm not sure where from, but look at the size difference in those. The Botanical Interest one, I believe, is this little one, which makes sense because it's, you know, like a baby cucumber. But then the other one, they look almost like the size of normal cucumber seeds. And I did read the back of the pack. It said to put 3 in each hole and mound it up. So we are going to try, fingers crossed, that we get at least 8 cucamelon plants. And it didn't say we had to thin them out. It said thinning is not required. So we might even get more than 8. Fingers crossed. I finished all of the tomatoes, paste tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, tomatillos, and cucamelons. But I do not have enough lights. As you can see, these are what I use to keep my plants warm for germination. So I'm gonna go get another light. I think it's out in the shop, so it might take me a second to find it so that I can do the basil and the flowers. But it's gonna be the same process as these. They're already made into blocks over here. So they're already made into soil blocks. I'll just plant them, label them, stick them under a light, the same thing. So I don't need to show you guys that. But just so you know, it will be the same process. I have another rack coming next Friday, so then I'll be able to stick them on there as well. Now, I only have enough seeds, or the seeds I'm going to be starting is only going to fill up one of these trays. So I have 3 extra trays. So what I have found is instead of letting the dirt dry out in the tub that I mix it in because I didn't use enough, I pre-fill the trays in soil blocks, and then when I water all of these plants, I just water those. Not in the sense of getting something to grow, but just to keep them damp so that they don't crumble. So that's what I'm gonna do with those. While I was filling my tomato seeds, or planting my tomato seeds, I was thinking that it might be fun to do a side-by-side comparison once all of the tomatoes have grown and to taste them. So obviously I showed you all the pictures and the descriptions, but I think it would be fun to actually taste them side by side. So if you guys want to see that, let me know, and I will have Chase taste them all for you guys and let you know what he thinks, and maybe we can make a video on it. All right, you guys, another week, another planting down for 2026 garden. We have a whole bunch of seeds started, and we're just gonna keep going. I think we have one more set of seeds to start inside, and the rest we're gonna sow outside. It's getting close to summer or to spring and planting everything, and I'm so excited. If you guys want to check out how to plant a garden and the seeds we started last week, check these videos out over here. Otherwise, follow along for more updates. We'll do more plant updates, and next week I will start more seeds also, and I'll just take you guys along with me as I go. Comment down below what you want to see, and I hope you follow along. See you guys.